So the question is, why doesn't he grow up? Why does he still behave as a child? How can we help him get rid of these leftovers from childish behavior?
That's the second most pointless thing you've ever said, God. Those motherfuckers in their pointy shoes are going at it.
He kicked me in the face. Yeah, you're kind of surrounded by three dudes right now, huh?
I am.
All just kind of staring
And
at you.
a shit ton of technology.
This is weird.
It is weird.
It's all just for decoration, though. A lot of it's not.
It's pretty.
We don't use it. That's untrue.
I make things up.
I know.
All right, so I want to keep talking about what we were just talking about. Jessi, feel free to jump in, but you'll probably like catch up here in a second.
I'm excited.
Okay, so what is happening right now? We are figuring out that we're actually all one thing. The faster that everybody else does that, the easier it's going to become to make new things and be happy and do whatever you want and swim through the infinite at whatever speed you'd like. Is that just what's happening? And the way the method of doing it is by tricking everybody into kind of temporarily thinking that they're a separate thing that has is cut off from the rest of the universe, that has a finite life.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that engine can run.
Well, there has to be a balance of both then, right? Because you need those people who realize this, what people like Jason Silver describing, but then you also need those people who are like the ego-driven, who believe they really do matter. So the things that is for that progression, because we need people like that to build skyscrapers and the internet and shit like that.
Right.
So we need them.
You need
but we
people
also
to compete.
Yeah, they allow the progression.
And try to stand up in this ocean of madness and say, I'm special.
Yeah.
Look at me. I built a skyscraper.
That one bubble in the
Look at me. I'm a doctor that performed the first surgery of this kind. But that's how you get advancement, right?
Right.
Wait, are you saying that people who go and progress humanity are self-centered in doing so?
I think that by saying it like that, Jessi, would be really making it black and white.
Thanks.
And
I'm just asking. I'm looking for
it's
clarification.
much more of a
guys.
spectrum, I would say. But yeah, some people,
Yeah.
like the people. Think about why does Michael Jordan? Why did he want to be so great? Why do those guys that do stunts for Red Bull? Why did they do triple backflips off a tricycle?
Why did you jump off that building
Why?
without a parachute, sir?
Yeah.
Or plane, whatever.
Okay, so you're saying that only the people who are ego-driven enough to want to leave some kind of amazing legacy are forwarding the human race.
No. Jessi.
Kinda.
What I'm
no.
saying
But
is
no,
that
kinda.
does forward the human race. It is one of many things that forwards the human race. The idea that you're finite. And if you're finite, I better fucking hurry up and
Do
make
something crazy.
something worth of my life. I better do something important and put my mark on it and say, Kyle was here. Kyle did this. Yeah. And this is why Kyle's special and this is why he's separate. Like deep down, part of you is scared that, you're not going to matter. And everybody wants to matter. Because we think we're
special,
separate.
But in reality, we're just a little
not
bubble.
special, but we think we're separate.
I actually disagree, though. I think that yes, absolutely. We all want to have some kind of legacy so that we matter, but we want to matter in this bigger sense. I think we want to feel like we're connected to humanity, and we want to feel like we've joined some kind of ongoing fabric of history. So if you build a skyscraper, and you're obsessed with skyscrapers and you've studied all the people who've made them before you and you're obsessed with where the future of it's going to go, you feel like you're a part of this ongoing, history of skyscrapers or whatever.
Yeah. And I like what you said too, because that's like that's an interesting anomaly too out of life, is that if you think you're separate, you're going to really try to put your mark on something. Yeah. But if you are nice, if you're a good person, that feels good. So there's a reward system in working together. There's something in our programming, there's something in our biology that says if you're nice to people, and you act as if you are just them living another life, that feels good.
But isn't that how
And if you're an asshole, it fucking hurts. It doesn't feel good.
But isn't that how people are made? Cells being like cooperating together
Yeah.
to form things.
And then there's
things
there's
always work towards niceness.
and then there's
progression.
cancers. There's cancers that work against the body.
Fucking
There's
cancers.
viruses that work against the body.
You know what's interesting? When I was a teenager, I was super, I don't know, mad and defiant and whatever, all these things. And there came a point when I was probably like 23 or something, and I was like, I'm just someone who's not social. I just don't like talking to people. I'm whatever. I'm just different and grouchy. And then there came a point where I was like, oh, you know what? It's actually kind of funny. I feel like the nicer that I am to people, the happier I am, the more I feel like I'm a part of something, and like whatever, reaching out feels good. And I was talking to someone, and she was like, well, like obviously we couldn't have survived without reaching out to people. Like, it's one of the main things that we're designed to do is like find food, find water, get enough sleep, procreate, and reach out to people.
Be with people.
Yeah,
Make
because
friends.
you wouldn't have survived
part
if you
of a
were
group.
alone. You needed your tribe or your whatever. So like reaching out to people is inherently designed to make us feel good and safe, and like we get physiological feedback from that. We're like, yay, I'm a part of it.
It's so weird.
I
right?
won't die now.
Well, like the instructions, it's like we have a user manual. Just listen to it.
It's pretty easy.
Listen
God,
to the
that's
fucking
brilliant.
user manual, man. Read your user manual and do that.
The human book.
If you chop this up, keep that in there and make that like a tweet this thing.
Oh,
You know?
we don't chop anything.
I know. Okay,
We
so
don't-
don't chop it up, but
we
make it a
don't
tweet this thing
edit.
anyway.
Yeah,
You
we
should.
don't.
A little like soundbite. You have a user
We
manual.
want to make sure people know where you're
No, but right, you do.
For being a
You
person.
have a user
Yeah.
manual,
Yeah.
and like
Those was
we figured out a lot of it. If you put good food in your body, you'll probably feel good.
Yeah.
If you work out your body, it'll feel better. It'll last
Probably.
longer.
Probably.
If you're nice to people, you'll feel better.
That
It'll last longer. Like it's
so
obvious
simple.
stuff.
It's all the shit that like made us live longer feels good.
Yeah.
Like sex.
Well, and I guess
look,
there's-
we did it. We're making more humans. It feels good. Socializing, feeding.
But then there's these weird, like, instructions too. That's
such
like,
as.
eat that whole pizza.
We do have that in us. We do. You think those are the evil cells? Like you need all of that right now.
I don't think so. I think those are wires getting
You
crossed.
want that Haagen-Dazs.
I think that's like a modern society kind of like fucked with your system of what you like and what you don't like. I think it's a
Have you ever eaten a whole pizza?
no.
Never?
Never.
Really?
I mean,
Oh my
The
god.
commit.
there's a
Yeah.
moment. There's a
Maybe I should
moment.
try.
Most of the experience of eating a whole pizza is terrible. It's awful.
Well,
You
so that's the
feel
thing, because
awful.
'Cause you get
That's
halfway.
you
Most
not
of it is
listening to your
terrible.
body
Yeah.
and not listening to your user manual, because your user manual at some point is telling you this was a shitty idea you had, Kyle.
You're right.
Stop
Fantastic.
now. But you're like in your head, you're like, no, I have to prove to this person
But
that
there's
I
a
could do
moment
it.
there.
Or whoever.
There's a moment, I swear to God, it lasts less than a second. And you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like after you eat that whole pizza, it doesn't last long.
I did
but there's a
this.
moment that you're like, oh dear God. Like the insulin is like rushed to like throughout your entire body.
About to go
And
into
it's just like
comatose.
everything is vibrating and you're just like, yep, that's the good stuff. And then you're like, ugh, I feel terrible. And then like you have diarrhea
life
for
kicks
3
in.
hours, and so yeah. So there's such a thing as the whole pizza O face. Oh yeah,
Oh,
pizza
wow.
orgasm.
Yeah.
Well, I've
It's-
eaten an entire pint of ice
It's much
cream. if
less
it's any
rewarding than a real
similar.
orgasm.
Is it in any way similar to eating a whole pint of ice cream? Because that does
Mhm.
have
Oh,
its
we did.
upsides and
Yeah, it's
downsides.
the same. It's
Those
the
are
same
amazing.
thing.
Very satisfying.
What's
Very
your flavor?
uncomfortable.
What's your flavor?
I don't know. I don't really have like a go-to.
I just introduced
Salted caramel, probably. Honestly, I don't really like sweets unless it's salty. So salty anything.
Kyle just had Haagen-Dazs for the first time
Mm,
last
Really?
week.
yeah,
It
it's pretty
What
good.
had you been eating?
was pretty amazing.
Ben Jerry's.
Oh wow.
I like just a clusterfuck of different shit in my
Yeah.
ice cream.
And
Big
a,
fan
and
of Cold Stone.
an assortment of
Yeah, you like it to be complicated.
chunky.
Yeah, I like simple.
I like smooth,
Yeah?
I like salty and simple.
Is that just the theme for you in life?
salty and simple.
Salty and simple?
Guess so. Yeah,
Like-
you could pretty much boil my life down to that.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah.
Jesse's one of our.
How
creator
did we
friends, by the
fucking
way.
get to like the rules of the universe
And
to
then
ice cream?
Marijuana's
What
how,
just
Kyle.
happened?
That's how. Marijuana's how.
Damn. Jessie's not even. She's not even high. She
I'm-
doesn't
No.
even know what we're
I'm
talking about.
just
Yeah, you just walked in on this. Sorry.
lost.
We're not going to be able to air this.
No, we're good.
I'm noticing that is a recurring theme. The last
God
time you told
damn
us
it.
No,
this,
dude, this is going
you're
up.
like, there's no way
This is
we
go-
can put that up, guys.
Kyle,
He says that every week.
he says this every week. We have great podcasts. I
So
think.
then
And Kyle's
edit
like,
it.
No, we're not. No edits. This is raw. We want people to know we're
For
dumb
anyone who's
sometimes.
listening, these are men of principle. They refuse to edit.
It does.
No matter
it
what a
fuck-
good
it
idea
fucks with
it
the
is.
point.
It does.
You know what? Jesse, how old are you?
27.
I realized. So she splits the difference between us. This
Yeah.
is interesting. I realized yesterday how many fucking young kids have their own YouTube channel. Do you realize how
Darn,
common
yeah.
that is?
I have my own YouTube channel, Kyle.
Well, but they have
anything
like
with
a
it, but it's
real
there.
show,
I mean, yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're talking about like millions
Yeah.
of young people that have
Yeah.
their own podcast, and maybe it's not called a podcast, but it's like their
Nope.
show that they
Yeah.
do from their MacBook, and they just like they just talk shit into the.
It's usually off Tumblr tags, they call them, like these
Yeah.
tags where like, all right, tag of the week, your mom, so they'll do an interview with their mom or something, or things you hate. Yeah.
Well,
This
here's
is a whole
here's
This is
millions
great.
and millions.
here's the
in touch with
thing.
the
Here's the
kids
thing
these
that
days.
I'm part of
I
that.
realized when watching that
I'm
is like
kids.
that I just barely made the cut. I just figured it out. We started podcasting at 30. I'm 31. Thank God. If
Yeah.
I would have waited another year, I would have totally missed that boat. I do think that I don't want to call it podcasting because I feel like that's too narrow of
Yeah.
a group. But
Just a
self-broadcast.
Yeah.
I think that self-broadcast is going to become a very big thing, kind of like social media.
It's a share of your experiences.
Well, and it's going to be a convenient way to hang out with your friends
Yeah.
when you can't hang out with your friends. Like, imagine if you have your own podcast, you have your own podcast, Angela has his own podcast. We're all like doing different stuff all the different times. So, like, we can't hang out. But in between things, I can like hang out with, Jessi for an hour. I can hang out with Alec. People are going to broadcast
You think
themselves.
just socially?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
maybe.
it'll merge. Like
Really?
it'll merge with Facebook
Yeah.
to where like
And then
Facebook
think-
is just a poster board.
these are saved forever. So like in 10 years
Yeah.
or 20 years, like our grandkids could look at
Right.
this like, oh, my
And they'll-
grandfather's like smoking
Yeah,
weed.
but you could have said that about cassette tapes too, and then that shit all became completely obsolete.
Isn't that all the same idea though?
I mean,
Sharing
I made
ideas?
cassette tapes. Did you do this where you would record yourself talking on cassette tapes, and I would like give them as gifts? Because
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
obviously everyone
that's
for Christmas
within
wanted to give
our
me a talk.
lifetime. Like nobody cares.
But that's what I'm saying. Is in 20 years, it might be
If
like,
you-
oh yeah, digital podcast.
If you could
We're-
listen to
remember those.
cassette tapes of your great great grandpa that was in the Civil War, wouldn't that be really interesting?
Yeah.
that'd be super rad.
Right.
You think this is all just gonna stick around forever and it'll never
Oh,
be
it's yeah,
destroyable?
it's the internet. It
in
doesn't
the
go
ether.
anywhere.
It's there for
I mean, that
That's what you
shit's
think.
permanent.
I don't think so.
You don't.
I don't.
You don't
Once
think the internet's-
stuff's on the internet, it's on the internet.
She has a point.
For now,
What
I
do-
mean,
what do
we
you
just
think?
don't know what comes next.
So far, I guess. Yeah.
Vinyl,
The vinyl.
the CD,
Yeah.
the cassette.
At
It's all
some point,
medium, and it all keeps changing. Now we have the shitty MP3, but everything's online.
when we shift over to like holograms and everyone's like, oh man, we made all those digital things and now
But
no one
people are still gonna
cares.
people are still going to be able to access it like we can access the tapes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I have a
wait.
cassette
Yeah.
tape
And
at
that
home, but I
stuff
wouldn't
gets
know how to play it.
upgraded.
Yeah.
The information on it gets transferred. They upgrade movies. They take black and white movies and make them color. They remaster old versions of shit.
Yeah, but they remaster important shit.
Yeah, because it would cost a lot to
Are
do
you
it.
saying
Now
the
it's getting
Meathead on
so
Mushroom podcast is not important?
I was waiting for Kyle's reaction.
How
on that.
fucking dare you?
Oh no, I agreed with what you were saying.
Oh,
Kyle's like, no, not this.
this is
Yeah.
the greatest thing
Yes.
since sliced bread. You guys are ridiculous.
No, but I think podcasting, self-broadcasting is going to become much bigger. And I think there's going to be an entire generation of people that create this hive mind, this shared experience. And
Hive
people
mind.
outside of it,
like the Borgs.
like Ender's
and
Game.
and people outside of it, like me, almost are just going to be, they're just going to miss it.
Yeah.
Like they're never going to be okay with being themselves publicly and just putting that information out. So because they're not willing to do that,
I'm fully
they will
expected.
not. They won't be part of that conversation. They won't be part of that hive mind, and they'll struggle.
Yeah.
They won't get the benefit of the information of everyone.
I fully expect like family to be very angry at me once
Yeah.
they start listening to these, because I'm not gonna hold anything back. Like,
I haven't been.
yeah,
No.
me either, not yet.
Me either.
So
Also
far,
haven't
Jesse.
said
So
anything
far.
yet. I don't think my family would listen, honestly, to a podcast. I
What's-
don't think my family knows what a podcast is.
Right.
Sorry, guys, if you're listening and you do, I'm sorry I made you sound like idiots, but I'm pretty sure they don't.
I mean, I talk to my parents more and more and just think like
Yeah.
they're children.
I get,
Like,
I get what you mean.
They
I get what
don't
you mean.
understand where the world's at. They don't understand what we
Yeah.
know now.
I can't.
And so much of what they do know is irrelevant.
I can't carry a conversation with my grandmother for
Yeah.
for very long.
It's like talking to a kid, right?
She
It's
no,
weird.
I don't want to say that,
But it
she's
is.
had more experiences than me in certain things. But
Yeah.
what it is like there's a big lack of like information. Like she's complained to me about something she saw on Fox News.
Right.
I'm like, oh, yeah, it's not real.
It's Fox
it's not.
News.
Grandma, it's not.
That's
real.
entertainment.
It's literally.
It's made up.
Have you
I-
seen BuzzFeed?
I
Grandma?
showed her Reddit. I tried that, and she was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people think the news is real. Like, Jesse, you're still at that stage? Are you
Don't
like,
say like
how
that, you
deep are
asshole.
you? How deep are you into all this?
I'm zero amount. I don't watch any.
There you
so-
go. She gets it.
I wouldn't say
There you go. She's on our side. Case closed.
case closed.
We was.
Don't
Might
ask
put
it.
that way.
Don't ask any more questions about that. Well, yeah, welcome to
Welcome
the
to
hive.
that.
Welcome to the hive mind.
Ooh. It's catchy.
No, but I mean, how much money has CNN made off this fucking Malaysian airline
Oh my
story?
God. And then like not talking about the fact that we just legalized bribery.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh
know-
yeah. By the way, the other day we
What is it?
completely
No,
we completely repealed any limits to campaign contributions during an election cycle.
Fantastic.
Right.
That's
That's
great.
not talked about. But the Malaysian flight, I heard aliens took it.
Did you see it on Fox News? Because if so, then it's real.
It was on Yahoo.
Oh,
No, Yahoo News. Wait, it's
yeah.
just as bad.
Yeah, he was pretty respectable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, it is funny though. I mean, how many plane crashes have there been?
A lot. I don't know.
And in the
Guys,
last,
I watched Lost. I know all
billion-
about plane crashes.
That's such a good show.
I mean, like,
That
what are
was
the
last time I paid
ended
attention
fucking
to a
ridiculously.
plane crash.
what are the odds of your plane going down? It's not good. I mean, like, there's a better chance of being struck by lightning. I'm sure.
I don't know.
I'm making this up. I
was
don't
gonna say,
know.
I don't
I like
know
the little
this.
tag. I'm sure.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, maybe.
Yeah.
It must be.
Really,
I
maybe
keep,
not.
I keep hearing people tell me I have a higher chance of being killed by a donkey than crashing a plane.
Right.
Wait,
it's
people
not
keep
very
repeating that
likely.
Yeah,
statistic?
I've heard many people tell me that. I'm like,
That's-
what? Why are you hanging out with
It's a
donkeys?
conveniently
Like,
catchy
when is there a
statistic.
point? Where
It's
I'll hang out
not
with a
likely
donkey?
at all. And the way that they run the coverage is like, and we found out yesterday that the pilot received a mystery phone call or a phone call.
It's a narrative.
Like, it's just a phone call.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know who called them. Like, anyone called them. Like, you're a fucking news station.
Yeah.
He took a mystery trip to the bathroom. Or he fucking went to the bathroom. Like, they just... You know what I mean? It's a show.
It's a story,
they're just
man.
scaring people. They're
shucking
trying
and
to make a
driving.
mystery.
They're shucking and driving for a story. It's like a really shitty movie. Basically, what
It is. It is.
Yep.
It's but it's like people can't resist it. You know, we have this fear mechanism built into us that when we hear plane disappeared, we don't even know. Wait, what? There's a black box in it? Wait, mysteries? Wait, who's the pilot? Like you almost can't help it. You get sucked into this.
Which is exactly why I don't watch, because I wouldn't say I think it's not real or anything, but I do think that there's only so many things you can care about at one time, and that seems like a waste of my brain power.
Yeah, I feel like there's more important shit going on right now.
Like if I can't do anything about it, and obviously I can't do anything about the plane in Malaysia, and I hear about it, there is gonna be like some kick-started reaction in my brain that's like, oh no, I wonder what
yeah.
it was. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna save that space for some shit I can do something about.
Dude, I got caught up with it for like a day.
Why'd you do that?
I mean, I 100%. I thought Lost happened. Like I was really, I
Yeah.
thought like I was like, this is fucking for real.
Can I tell you, actually, when I first heard about it, I got really excited because when I was a kid, I used to love the Bermuda Triangle. Just the fact that there's like a random place on Earth that like pulls planes down into it. It's kind of dark, actually, now that I'm saying it. But as a kid, I thought this was like the coolest thing ever. So I get excited and I Google and I'm like, I bet Malaysia's in the Bermuda Triangle. It's not at
It's
all.
definitely
It was
not.
incredibly dumb of a moment, but after that moment, I
Yeah.
stopped caring because then I was like, oh, it's just a regular plane
damn it.
crash.
God.
But I was like, oh, the
So as a
Bermuda
kid, you were
Triangle's so real.
fascinated with like people crashing in certain spots.
I just thought it was so cool. I loved Amelia Earhart, and she went down in it.
She did.
She was pretty badass, and then the Earth was like, no, down.
Is that a real thing? Is this like a magical spot that just takes that shit out?
Well, yeah, it's like magnetically somehow aligned that it fucks with the plane equipment, and then they go down and they disappear. There's like so many cases I've done.
Is there evidence on that? I mean, I just
I'm fascinated.
The
I
thing is
dismissed it.
now
I
our
dismissed
equipment
it.
is better, so it doesn't happen anymore. Which is why I was like, "Oh my god, it's still happening! The Earth is I don't know. Yeah, I basically feel like it's
But couldn't
lost.
there be like other explanations, like certain routes are just dangerous, and if you happen to be on this route, it happens to go over the same place, and it's just a dangerous route.
It's
Like,
electromagnetic. That's been proven. But now we don't have electromagnetic equipment in our planes. We have other kinds, so it
so
doesn't
the
affect
equipment
it
changed.
anymore. Yeah. But it
Really?
used to affect it, and it used to like.
I don't-
You
They'd
talking
be
out of
like, we
class
don't
right
know
now?
where we're going. We can't control it. What?
You talking out of class right now?
Yeah. Do you know what you're talking about?
I do.
you?
I did a report on it in 3rd grade.
Okay.
Oh God,
It's
damn
legit,
it,
guys.
Jesse.
3rd grade. I loved this stuff.
There wasn't even the internet back then.
Yeah, I had to research it in books.
Oh God,
Remember that shit?
books.
What's a book?
Books.
What's a book?
Encyclopedias?
Yeah, I had to cite all my references at a bibliography and everything.
How
Listen,
hilarious
I got
is
extra
that?
credit for this thing, man. I was a dork.
I've literally never sent a letter before. I'm a child of this generation.
How old are you, man?
21.
Oh God.
Dude.
Uh,
I mean, it's
Never-
happening
Oh,
fast.
I have a question. Did you learn cursive? Because they
they
don't
tried
teach that
for like
anymore.
a day, and we didn't do it ever. Literally a
Okay,
day.
then my question is, how do you sign your name? And are we gonna have a bunch of like
You want to know what I do? No shit. I squiggle.
You
I do
just
circles.
squiggle.
I do circles.
you do like?
And sometimes I'll do a smiley face.
Oh my God, we are
'Cause I
going to
don't
have an
fucking know how to
entire
sign my name.
generation of children who don't know how to sign their name. They print it and draw smiley faces.
I'll try for
Like-
you right now. This is
Wait.
Fucking chimpanzees.
Everyone's gonna do a signature.
Well, in
Like-
fairness, I don't really sign my name anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
either,
how
but-
much longer do we have of pens?
That's literally what I do.
of
paper.
pens.
That's literally
Can I
what
show
I
you?
do.
Actually?
That's Alec.
This makes me so happy to do, and all my friends think it's stupid, but I don't even write a single letter.
Good for you.
That's my signature.
This is like what you do on checks.
Hmm
You can do that.
It's like for the people listening, it looks
Can I-
like a
can I
cartoon
see-
drawing of a bird.
Can I see your license?
Oh, for my license, I did it like proper, like I used letters, but that was 8 years ago or something, and I don't do that anymore.
You fucking wimped
I
out.
gave it up. I was like, these are tiring my hand
You
out.
could have just done. You
It's
could
a
have done
lot
that.
of
How many
letters.
things are you signing?
I had
How many
long hair
letters
and
are you
stuff.
setting?
You know,
It's a
legally,
lot of letters. It's like the S and the S and the I don't know. It's too many curls.
you know, legally, you don't have to sign your name.
Really?
Why would I not
100%.
though?
Like anyone is allowed to make their mark. Like if you say I wanted to just make that my signature, like a line and a dot, 100%. No one has to make you actually write out your name as your signature. If it says print name, I mean that's a different. But like when it says signature, there's no requirement for any of it to have anything to do
I
with
guess
your
that's-
actual name for it
That's
to be
probably
legal.
what they are banking on by not teaching children cursive. That's probably
Just doesn't
the point,
matter.
is you can just do whatever you want.
Is that what's happening? They're not teaching.
I mean,
There's
who
no
the
They
fuck-
cursive.
stopped a few
why
years
would-
ago. Yeah, they're
why
no
would
longer
you
teaching
need-
cursive.
I
to
didn't learn
kids.
cursive.
Why would
They
you-
tried for a
you-
day.
It must have been right around the time he was in. Right? Isn't that weird?
Why? Cursive is stupid.
Yeah.
It is stupid, but it's classic.
Well, for
Fuck
me, it's
that.
Faster. I'm
Fuck
faster
classic.
doing cursive.
Are you really? Oh, I'm faster printing.
Cursive
It's not
is
like I like
You
cursive.
know-
I just feel like it's
I'm
weird.
stabbing the paper.
You know what
Wait,
I'm
you
know what I'm
actually
faster
write
at?
in cursive?
I
Do you
know,
hold your
you
pen
actually-
like that? Because that might be
No, I
the
just- yeah.
solution.
you know what's way more effective than cursive? Typing. Shit works way better.
Yeah.
Fast. I learned that in school.
Oh, did you
60
actually
words
take?
a minute, bitch.
Oh, you did take
Yeah.
it. Okay,
for
because
multiple years typing classes.
are they still gonna do that, or are
No.
kids just gonna grow up and know how
No,
to
they're
type?
gonna tell Siri what to say.
No,
and
no,
then
no,
she's
they'll
just
do
gonna
that.
write it down.
You have to, well, we did it all on computers. We all had to do this. They'll definitely keep doing that.
No, they won't.
Yeah,
So long as
we
computers
had
are
to do
around?
that.
You are
'cause it was
crazy.
like
For
we are
computers?
we are
learning
like
how to use a keyboard.
we are 3 years away
You had to
from
get tested.
Yeah.
from perfect voice to text.
You
Like,
think keyboards will be
absolutely.
obsolete?
That's too much talking, though, Kyle. I don't want to be outside. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I like to keep
too-
my thoughts inside my head. When I hear them
You'll
out loud, they
whisper.
sound far dumber. I like
You'll
to hear them
whisper. You'll think
quietly.
it. I mean, a couple years past that,
That's
it's
the
just
move.
gonna be thinking.
That's the move. Thinking into phone.
That
mean-
would be pretty cool.
Because they can art. Did you guys see that TED Talk where they recorded somebody's memory on video? What? They
Oh.
fucking took somebody's memory, projected
No.
it, and watched it.
Fuck
you can
you.
watch
How?
somebody's
You're
memory.
outta your
I
goddamn
swear to
mind.
God, it was the biggest TED
Wait,
Talk this year.
I don't understand how.
It's
that,
on neuroscience. They showed somebody all of like these movies, right? And they went through their memory and found the movies
No.
that they watch
Nope.
in a blurry
Nope.
video. Yeah, no, I swear to God. Angela, you can't
She's
bring
like,
up
"Fuck
any
that. I'll
audio.
nope. I'm noping out of here.
We are so
Nope.
close.
Let me see my phone.
We'll embed it in the video.
me
We'll just
see.
do that.
I will. I'm gonna bring it up though.
We'll just steal text or whatever.
We'll have to embed it.
We live in the Matrix, guys.
It's pretty dope.
Did you hear that
Oh
they're
my God, in video art. Oh, so someone had to make it though. It's
No,
not
no,
like they
no,
just.
that's not the
You want this not to be real, Jesse.
Yeah, you don't believe
You
me.
hate the idea of this. It's freaking you
I
out.
do hate the idea of it. I also don't believe it. That's all. I don't believe it's real.
You're a skeptic.
I'm a skeptic. Someone here has got to be a skeptic because Kyle's ready to believe anything that crosses his mind.
Well, my
So
brother
we've
and I
got the
figured
far
this
end of the
out the other day. I am a epiphany junkie.
Yeah.
You
I am
are.
Pretty
addicted
good.
to
That is a great way to put it.
epiphanies. I need some mind-blowing experience daily, or else I get depressed.
Wow.
I may
That's a
be
great diagnosis, brother.
I may be caught up in the singularity. Like, there's too many fascinating things happening, and I'm blowing my mind so much with crazy shit that now, if I don't like give it the input, it actually affects me. Like, I have like withdrawals from not getting epiphanies, and that's accurate. It's true.
That
Sadly.
resonates well with the Kyle that I know.
That makes
It
sense.
does.
Yeah.
It'll just be like some completely random topic.
Yeah.
Epiphany.
Well, no, I mean, okay, here's one. UPMC, the hospital in Pittsburgh, they're planning on keeping people in suspended animation for 2 hours while they fix whatever problem they're having, and then they're going to bring them back to life. They're going to drain their entire body.
They're already doing that.
They're going to drain their
Did you know they
entire
already
body
do that?
worth. No. They what they were doing is they cooled people down.
Mhm.
Now they're going to drain them fully. Their heart will stop. Their brain, they will not be hooked up to any machines, and they're going to input like cold saline solution, almost freezing, throughout their entire body. So they'll be drained fully of blood. They won't be dead officially because there's apparently like what pushes you past the threshold of death is like the lack of oxygen for a certain period of time, and your brain just becomes useless. Like, it doesn't work.
Right.
So if you can pause it while you're dead, but not enough time has gone by for your brain to become useless, you can pause it right at that moment. You can fix whatever's structurally wrong, and then put the blood back in and reboot them.
I don't understand why but the brain's not getting any oxygen.
No, but it's frozen.
Yeah, he tried to explain this to me the other day too, and I was like, I don't.
I think we're missing some sort of important detail. But that's okay because
So
it is so cool.
What they're gonna do? Gunshot wound victims and stab wound victims, like when they're within 30 seconds or so of death. You know, when they think, okay, this is lost cause, they're gonna bring in a special team. They're gonna open up their heart. They're gonna drain their body of blood, and they're gonna pump in cold saline solution. They won't be hooked up to any machines. Their body and all metabolic processes will be put on hold. They won't be dead. It will be like, if you could pause this moment, my heart's not beating, I'm not breathing, I'm not dead, but you're pausing a moment. You're hitting the pause button on life. You're going to fix the problem, and then you're going to reboot them.
I understand. I still think we're missing some sort of vital information
Yeah, like
because the
this-
brain would just.
Yeah, this seems
No,
fundamentally
damaged.
wrong.
Your brain,
Okay, so this
as
is
long
how
as it's cold enough,
Am I just stupid?
it
or are you
doesn't
crazy, guys?
need
That
oxygen.
just makes sense.
Have you heard of the stories of like people falling into rivers, like freezing cold rivers, like for half an hour and then being brought back to life?
No,
Okay, so apparently people have. That's
a thing.
happened.
Okay.
So what they found is if the body's cold enough, it doesn't deteriorate. It like the metabolic functions don't deteriorate, so you can be rebooted. Just like
Cryogenic, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I saw
like
Austin Powers.
cryogenics.
I know how that
Walt
works.
Disney.
right. Well, so this is the first real life cryogenics, and they're not doing it for like 60 years, but they're doing it for 2 hours.
Wow, pretty neat. And icky. But
And
that's
kind of
fine.
scary, right? All right, where's
That was a
this?
very genuine response.
Ted?
So I guess so people know what you do, Jesse. What do you do for money and stuff?
What do I do for money
what
and
is your
stuff?
thing?
That's a great question. I'm a personal trainer, and I run a fitness website.
Plug away. what's your
It's called
Yeah, what's
ReModel
your-
Fitness. It's JessiKneeland.com. It's spelled JESSIKNEELAND.com.
You do like talks too, right? For like younger girls and like self-image and stuff.
Not yet. That is a direction I would like to go, but I don't yet. But I do coaching online where I interact with all women and change their lives and shit.
So you help them. Like, how does that process work? How does that? What are the
We
steps?
meet over Skype. I write them oh, you brought up my site.
Nice.
We meet over Skype. I write them a program, and then we check in, and I do as much as I can to push them in the direction of understanding why their body is already good enough
Okay.
while they are making the changes that they want to get healthier and feel stronger and just love themselves and basically feel empowered enough to like move on past this thing that keeps so many women, and I think probably guys too, but like whatever, you got to choose your audience. It keeps so many women in this feeling of like, I don't deserve to go do what I really want to do because I'm not right yet. Like, I'm not perfect yet.
Physically is what you're talking about?
Physically, yeah. So if you can break them out of that, then they start to think like, well, geez, I've been spending all this time every day focused on like not feeling good enough. And when that just disappears, you have all this leftover energy and potential and you just start going after what you want. So I want to create an army of women
Okay.
who are fucking shit up in the world and doing awesome things because they have the empowered, hell yeah, they have the empowered baseline to do so, and they're not spending all their time just worrying about their bodies.
Self-hatred
God.
is like
It's popular.
This is the most
it is
prevalent thing,
Yeah.
It is penetrated through
Yeah.
the city everywhere.
and I don't know if it's like this everywhere else, but like in the city at least, it feels like there's no other option, and I
Yeah.
like to think that I provide the other option. Because it's so depressing to meet all these really, really amazing people who just feel like they're not good enough and don't deserve to do more.
What do you think keeps you from getting to that point? Because obviously it's fucking popular. To just
Keeps
hate yourself.
from getting to
keeps
what
you
point?
from hating yourself. Like, what do you think?
Me
Like,
personally?
yeah, like, well, how do these people avoid?
Did you break out of it?
Yeah, how'd you break out of that? If you're aware of it.
I got really lucky. I think I grew up in a house where it just wasn't. I was never taught that. So, like, obviously, I've been self-conscious, and I've certainly felt like less good about myself and my body at different various points in my life. But I I was like the obnoxious kid where people would be like, like, oh, I liked your solo, and instead of like the thing you're supposed to say as a girl, which is like, oh, please stop, no, it was terrible. I'd be like, thank you, I did a good job, and people would be like, oh, okay, like no one really knew how to handle that. It was just like somehow, I don't know, I got lucky.
When somebody acts like that, though, I'm always pleasantly surprised. When somebody actually takes a compliment.
Yeah, it's really unusual, and as a girl, people don't know what to do when you do it.
I find it refreshing.
Yeah.
Like when people they're not being dicks about it, but they're just taking credit when you gave somebody credit, or they're accepting a compliment. That's
Right.
all. It's
I find it's kind of weird with the body one because, like, I work hard in the gym and, I treat myself well, but, like, it's not about the aesthetics. It never has been. It's not about, like, trying to look a certain way. It's about how I feel and how I want to feel a certain way. So when someone, and it happens a lot, like, obviously because I'm in gym clothes all the time and, like, whatever, and people be like, oh, you've just got, like, the best body. It's just, you've got such a great body. I'll always be like, oh, thanks. Like, I like it. Like, I'm not really sure how to say it other than that. I do like it.
What's
but-
interesting to me? Like, I don't think what people are really saying has anything to do with your body. I think it
know,
has to do with the fact that you have fully accepted who you are and you're happy. And what they think they want is the body, but what they actually need is that realization.
Right,
That's
which
all.
is why I do this coaching stuff, because I feel like in person with my clients, we get very focused on the physical because, we know so much about the physiological ways to make changes and stuff in the body. And we don't ever have quite as much time or, I don't know. I don't talk about it as much with my in-person clients as I do in my online, where I basically will send things out being like, hey, here's a journaling question for you to like explore on your own. Why do you think it matters how you look? Who ingrained in you and like what caused you to believe that you will be happy when you reach these goals? I'm still going to help you try to reach them. And I still think it's probably a good thing to get healthy and see those changes and know what you're capable of. I think those things are really important. But like, why are you associating that goal with happiness? Because where does that come from? Why did we start doing that? And everyone does it. And it's really not true. You lose the 5 pounds, you think to yourself, well, I don't look as good as I was hoping. She looks better with, maybe I need to try this instead. Or maybe, it's like if you're comparing and
The reason that I'm not getting the things I want in life are that I don't look like that.
Yeah, and like it's an unconscious association, but like if you start to question people and be like, hey, do you outright believe that when you reach these goals you'll get a better job and a boyfriend?
Right.
People start going, I guess I do. Why?
Yeah.
Like if you kind of call attention to that and be like, why do you think that's true?
You know what the thing is with me though? I don't know that I wouldn't have figured that out just from somebody telling me.
Well, that's why I can't just tell people, or I would go around being like,
I had to do
You've
it.
got it inside you already.
What's odd is I had to get in really good shape.
Right.
And realize like, oh, nothing's changed at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the same insecurities that I have had when I was, heavier, didn't look like this,
Yep.
are exactly the same, if not exacerbated now.
Yeah.
Because there's
absolutely.
always going to be someone else that is more, that is leaner, that is more muscular, taller, wider, has better biceps, has a better ass, whatever. You'll never get to the end. Well, I threw the ass in there, so it was multi-gender. Because guys worry about biceps.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like to
yeah.
generalize.
It's cool. Yeah.
All right. But I had to get there before I realized, oh fuck, I was lied to somewhere along the line.
Same
So
here
you're-
for sure.
I'm sorry.
But I don't know that, because people told me. I heard that message over and over and over, and I heard it a million times. It didn't make any difference. I had to get there.
I think you're
Yeah.
happier when you feel like you're in control of your body and you're taking good care of it, because you just feel like, wow, look at me, like
Yeah,
taking good care
Well,
of
you're
myself.
the-
Everyone's proud of that.
you're
It
the
feels
steward
good.
of
Yeah.
your vehicle. Yeah,
I call it the gatekeeper. I insist that my clients kind of take on the gatekeeper role.
are you building a cult?
Kind of,
Kinda
yeah.
sounds like it.
Kind
Do you
of
sell
am.
like your own vitamins?
How's it going?
Or do you have like your own?
No,
I
don't.
Do you have like a uniform for people?
No uniform. Although I do encourage them. Honestly, it is a little. I've got my own set of guidelines. I encourage them to wear less. I say like, try working out with like, if you wear like baggy t-shirts and sweatpants, try wearing like a tight tank top or leggings. Like, I think these are all ways. I have a lot of ways, just of starting the process of accepting your body as it is, even while you're making it better.
Okay. What about the girls? There's one in peak in particular
Oh, I
think
think
Oh,
I
see,
know.
now-
that take what you're saying to
I trained her.
an extreme level.
Yeah.
What's that
like
about?
bikini
Is that okay?
status,
Is that
workout
good?
uniform?
Here is my take on that. I don't think it
No, wait,
matters
wait.
if she's
Alec
happy.
doesn't know what she looks
yeah,
like.
he does.
Okay, we're talking like full leotard, like from the 80s, like a one piece,
like a bodysuit,
kind of like
a
a-
spandex bodysuit
Yeah.
with cutouts, a lot
with
of
like
cutouts.
the thong, double thong thing.
Or like
Not
there's
really,
one
but
with like there's
it's
like
kinda
a
like that.
Is she
cleavage
like
cutout.
practicing like old school wrestling moves?
I mean,
like, why
it's-
is she wearing that?
It's unbelievable.
Okay, well, and my takeaway is this, only because I knew her, so I was able to kind of say like, from interacting with her, that she doesn't seem like someone who really loves her body. So I don't really know where that comes from. But my feeling is, if that's what makes you feel good, wear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't care if working out naked makes you feel good. Wear that.
That's
Do
the
whatever
move.
makes you feel best. I have no idea what her deal is. I hope it makes her feel
But-
awesome.
It must be your favorite outfit.
I don't know.
So-
She has a lot of these bodysuits.
So-
She has
Not
multiple.
Oh yeah.
many.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Straight out of the 80s.
That's kind of awesome.
Straight out of a step aerobics class.
It's special.
Jazzercising.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tybo.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If you were like, like we did shirtless Saturday that one day, like it just
Yeah.
made me happy that everyone did it with me, and it was just like, we're basically
What?
gonna do whatever we want, and like it
I'm
was
gonna-
super motivating. I don't know.
I would like to promote the whole idea of a shirtless Saturday.
Oh yeah, we
At
worked
every
out.
gym.
All the trainers in our gym worked out without shirts on. That was it. The girls had sports
Girls
bra
had
tops.
sports
The
bras. They
guys
weren't-
had just
But
T-
mostly
took their t-shirts
shirtless.
off,
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
kinda-
yeah,
that's
actually,
kind of awesome.
kinda.
The top left, it's kind of like that, man.
I tried getting a tank
Yeah,
top.
except for like they have
I-
it
it's
has
just-
like legs. It's like
yeah. There's just a little bit more legs to it.
Jim
Kind of like more like
Barbie.
volleyball shorts, but the rest of the outfit's
Yeah.
like that.
I tried getting a tank top Tuesday
That's
started
hilarious.
at Titan. No
And
one wanted to do it.
Didn't take off.
No, I was like,
Tuesday.
guys, let's do tank top Tuesday, and they thought I was an idiot.
Well, I mean, today I told Ingo, his one client always just wears a sports bra on
Oh yeah.
Saturdays, but it's only Saturdays. Like the other days through the week, she's covered up. But what's interesting is because it's a week apart, you start, and she's actually making progress. You see, oh wow, that person's getting in better shape. You know what I mean? If you look at
Totally.
yourself every day, you can't see the difference. But if you check back in with yourself every week,
Yeah.
you'll see. And I can notice, man, she's getting in good shape. I feel like it would be a good idea to have shirtless Saturdays. Everyone would
it.
kind of be checking in every week. You know, it's
I will say this. I think also, like when I have clients who like start for the first time working out, I get a lot of women who have never really worked out before. And they always have, it's like stuff that they had in their closet. It's like a t-shirt or whatever, like old leggings, old sneakers. And when they start like kind of committing to buying new stuff, like their first Lululemon purchase, or, like they
Thank God
go
for
out.
Lululemon. Sorry, go ahead.
They go out, they buy new sneakers or whatever. Not only do I think this is awesome because they're starting to like kind of own it a little bit, like, oh, this is a part of my life. This isn't something I'm going to try and then I don't want to spend any money on it because in case it fails. Like, oh, okay, fitness is going to be a part of my life. I may as well invest, and I think that's important. But also they almost always start dressing better for the gym. Like they like start being like, ooh, that's cute. What if I wore that? And then I can see their bodies better, which makes it easier to train and know what I'm looking at. Because if I train someone in sweatpants, like, I don't know, I'm making my best guess where your hips are, if you're squeezing your glutes. Sometimes I'll use my fingers to touch, but like it's harder to tell and it's a lot easier the less covered up they are or whatever. So I feel like it has multiple benefits.
I kind of have a theory about that. I think that at the base of everything fitness and the base of every result stems this idea that you'll become the person you think you are. So,
Yeah.
like, if you have a projection of yourself, like, if you had to close your eyes, can't look at any pictures, now draw yourself. Like, explain yourself in
To
your
yourself.
head. Who are you?
Absolutely.
That vision will, it's like gravity. Like, you'll be pulled towards whatever it is. And if you think you're that person that wears sweatpants to the gym, that can't lose 10 pounds, that always struggles with everything, it never quite like puts forth the best effort in a workout, that's the person you think you are,
Absolutely.
that's probably who you're going to be. Now, like in my head, I'm a fucking Superman. Like, and if you
Yes!
ever watch me work out, I fail a lot. Like I usually pick up a weight that's way too big, way too heavy. I overdo it because like reality in my head, I am Superman. In my head, yeah, I could probably, if I give him the right circumstances,
That's-
600-pound deadlift could happen. I
I
could, you know what I
kinda
mean?
feel
It's
the
like, give me enough
same.
coffee.
Yeah.
Give me enough coffee and rest.
I
I'll
feel
do
like
it.
it sounds insane, and I feel like it's a big thing that I read a lot of fiction, and there's like a part of my brain that like blends the lines between what I believe is like fantasy and reality. But I often feel like when I'm like on a good workout, I feel like if I needed to fly, like if it really came down to like me flying,
Yeah.
like I could probably do it.
That you've
Now, I
taken it
don't
further than
really.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying like I
On the
don't
other
really
side.
believe that, but it's like there is a part of my brain that I go to that is so like it sees myself as so powerful. That like that's what I love to share with especially women because most of them don't have this version of themselves anywhere. They see themselves as small and
Yeah.
like weak and like in the way of everybody and they feel like they need to apologize and they're like, "Oh, I could never do that." And the more you show them, "Well, you can do this." And you can do that. And like,
Right.
look, now you're getting stronger. You can do this other thing. The more they start to build up that idea of themselves that is, maybe not a superhero, maybe I'm a little extreme here, but powerful of some
No,
sort.
for sure. I you have to if the vision of you isn't actually better than you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Nothing
love
will
that.
happen.
Yeah, totally.
Write that shit down.
Write that shit. Tweet that. Tweet this.
Motherfuckers.
You know? But that's the challenging thing about being a trainer. How do you trick somebody into thinking that they're better than they think they are?
Oh my God,
Like, that's
exactly.
hard. That's a challenge.
It is.
That's not in any textbooks.
It requires like reinforcing of what they are doing that's better. I frankly downplay a lot of what doesn't work. There's no reason to be like, "Oh, you didn't get stronger this week. Look, you messed the whole program up. Like a lot of that stuff, I'll just be like, yeah, it's fine. We did the same thing we did last week, which is exactly what we were supposed to be doing. But look at this other thing that worked. It's a lot of like where you draw their attention to their process.
I like to just throw them in the fire.
I bet you do. You're gonna throw your kids in the pool and just hope they swim, aren't you?
20% chum rate.
Hope your alphas,
like,
good luck.
80% of the time it works.
Yeah, well,
Every
those
time.
are pretty good.
No, but seriously, a lot of times, as long as somebody's not like hurt, like I will put them through hell the first day.
No
hell.
shit.
What is,
I
the,
don't
what
do
is the
that.
thinking on that? Because I've heard the exact
Burpees.
opposite.
Yeah, I do the opposite.
Sprints.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. Why?
Because then they feel shitty, like they failed.
What is your thinking, sir?
It works in the Marines.
There's a lot of Marines, I guess, over at Peak.
No, there's a couple of reasons. One is that I don't want to work with any weak bitches, and
Woo!
they'll present themselves.
Preach.
And
That's
the
a serious
weak
claim.
bitches
Weak
has
bitch
nothing
syndrome.
to do with gender.
It's a real
Everyone
Absolutely, that
equally
was
can
clear.
be a weak
You
bitch.
can be
I don't give a
infected by
shit if
WBS.
you're. I don't give a shit. The worst weak bitches that I've come across have been men to this day. So I like to get them just away from me as early as possible. So
Smart.
that's the first reason. And the second reason is I want them to know it's serious.
Yeah.
Like I don't want
It's more of
it
a
to
weeding out
be-
process for you.
I want them to know like this is for real. You're going to come in and it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You're going to come in and it's not going to feel good. But there's a benefit to it. And I just don't have the patience.
But
I'm
you
not
don't get anybody
I'm not
who's
the right
never worked
trainer.
out before, right? Because that's like the majority of what I get are women who've never
Get
worked out
newbies.
before. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I did
I don't
that, I would
get
scare
any
them
of those
all
people.
away.
I'm not their trainer. I'm just
Right.
not like
Yeah.
and that's the other thing too. Doesn't it piss you off the trainers that think that they're the perfect trainer for everyone?
Oh my God, yeah. There's
Yeah.
so many things that I don't want to have anything to
Yeah.
do with,
It
and I'm
grosses
just
me
not
out.
as good, and I will outsource like a motherfucker.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like great at a particular type
Oh yeah,
of person.
me too.
But
Totally.
it's pretty narrow. And
I
outside
like
of
them
that
young and
spectrum-
healthy and
Dude,
naive.
I trained
from the
one of
beginning.
my clients is like 71-year-old dad that was like terribly out of shape and had 2 hip replacements. I was like,
Where was that today?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I
let's,
saw that.
let's grab this TRX here.
I had such an odd response actually seeing you on the floor with him. I was like, I can't put my finger on what's wrong about what I'm looking at.
What just
Ugh.
yeah, I was like,
Can
so
you
you know when you sit on the toilet, right?
Oh my God.
Just sit down, hold on to these. I mean, I was lost.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. Terrible. I had no
Yeah.
business
I feel
training
that
this
way about
guy.
people with
I
injuries and
did
stuff.
I did my
Oh,
best.
Get him out of there.
It's just not for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
It's not what I want to do either. But some people want to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people
know?
are really good at it.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I mean, he was a cool guy. Like, I could talk with him 5 minutes.
Oh, man.
Good, because I actually have to go.
Do you have anything to plug?
I already did. We've been
You want to do it
staring-
again?
You have a Twitter and stuff, too?
Literally
I
dozens of
do.
people will hear this.
Dozens of
Dozens.
people, you say. My goodness. Well, I
Probably
better
all
do it
of our-
again then.
all of our friends.
JessiKneeland.com is my website. Let's see if I know my Twitter handle. Is it weird that I don't know it?
No,
Yeah,
assuming it's Jessi Kneeland.
Yeah, probably. It is at Jessi Kneeland. Do you pronounce the ad in a Twitter handle?
Yes.
You did.
Okay, I did. It is at Jessi Kneeland on Twitter, and it's ReModel Fitness NYC on Facebook. Look me up, bitches.
It's
Get
addictive,
awesome.
right?
Get awesome.
Just calling the internet
You
bitches.
This is very weird and
All you
anonymous.
bitches
and
out
I'm-
there.
Oh,
It's so easy.
dozens of
you
bitches.
can't
The
see 'em.
dozens of bitches.
So I can
that will be
call you
listening to
all
this.
bitches.
Wow. Are they real, these listeners?
No,
This is
I think so.
very-
There's a couple on SoundCloud.
I don't know what a SoundCloud is. But it sounds like
It's
a
a
nice...
21-year-olds know what that is.
Oh, boy.
It's a thing.
I leave
It
that up
sounds
to
nice.
Alec.
Are you like 5 years older than me?
All right.
All
We got to go.
right.
Guys, it was good.
Good
Thank
job.
you, Jesse.
First half
Thanks for
was a
having me,
shit
guys.
show.
The first half was ridiculous.
Sorry,
Thank you, Angelo.
everyone involved with the first half.
If
of
you
that.
made it through, God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you for
I'm
being
going to have to
here.
listen to the first half of the show to know what I was
It's there.
coming in on.
I had to fill in, so it was
Oh, well.
He was a great guest.
It was great, though. We need to
was.
do that
Again.
officially.
What?
No,
now,
no, no.
Now that it's over.
It
now
was
that
a
you're
shit
never having to
show.
do that again.
In the sense that we got deep like
did.
I didn't know we got so far out there. I
We
didn't
went
know what
down
we were
the
talking
rabbit
we
about.
took heavy hits in
And
medicine.
then I was really
went down the rabbit
proud.
hole.
I was really proud how we all turned it around, and I feel like we really kind of turned a corner in the podcast today
we learned
by like having the conversation in the right tone.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about Jessi's career,
Yeah.
and we brought out I think some of
We did it.
the best tidbits of knowledge from her brain.
We are still new at this, folks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still figuring this out.
I think maybe the key is to have someone who's not
High.
high.
You blame the weed.
I think
That's like Nancy Grace.
maybe.
You don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think.
Don't
I'm
worry
sorry,
about
Jesse,
it.
But you
No,
were a good
It's
guest.
not that.
Um,
You were a great guest.
How about I
You
come
were.
back another day and then I get high and we see where we go? Because I'm imagining we're going to go down the rabbit hole. I think that's just sort
Let's
of
do
what
it.
happens.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
That's where we would have gone
Yeah.
if you didn't
Yeah.
show up. You
I'd
actually
be
brought
sitting
us
here
back.
talking about,
Yeah.
I don't even,
We're
happy to help guys.
all right.
Guys, thank you. Tamo.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
See you next week.
Deuces.